The Krillvex delegation had calculated everything perfectly. They'd researched the Dragon Queen's preferences, her territorial boundaries, even the phase of her moon during optimal diplomatic windows. What they hadn't calculated was that offering a human infant as tribute would be the worst mistake their species ever made. Ambassador Zekthar held the crying bundle at arm's length, his chitinous face plates arranged in what his cultural database assured him was a respectful expression. Behind him, 3 Krillvex warships hung in orbit, their weapons powered down in a show of peaceful intent. Great Azarathin, eternal flame, Queen of the 17 Peaks, he intoned, following the formal greeting protocols exactly. We offer this specimen as a token of our desire for alliance. Humans are weak, short-lived, but we understand your species finds them amusing. The Dragon Queen, whose scales held the deep crimson of dying stars, and whose age was measured in millennia, looked at the screaming infant. Then she looked at the ambassador. Her eyes began to glow. Amusing. Her voice made the throne room's crystalline pillars resonate with harmonic frequencies that cracked Zekthar's translator implant. Why, yes, Your Majesty. We acquired it from a human colony ship that strayed into our territory. Rather than waste resources on imprisonment, we thought. You thought, Azarathin interrupted, rising from her throne with a grace that belied her immense size, that I would be pleased to receive a stolen child, as if it were property. Zekthar's plates began to click nervously. The cultural database indicated that dragons hoard treasures, and humans are considered out. The word carried enough force to crack the stone floor. The Krillvex delegation scrambled backward, but Azarathin's tail swept out, gently extracting the infant from Zekthar's grip before he could flee. Leave my system. If any Krillvex ship enters dragon space again, I will personally reduce your homeworld to ash. Not because you insulted me, but because you stole a child and thought it acceptable. The delegation fled. The warships jumped to hyperspace within seconds, and Azarathin was left holding a crying human baby who couldn't have been more than a few months old. She brought him close, her massive head dwarfing the tiny creature. He smelled of milk and innocence and potential. His cries were the universal language of a child needing comfort. Hush, little spark, she rumbled, her voice dropping to frequencies that resonated with mammalian nervous systems, naturally soothing. You're safe now. The baby's cries quieted. His tiny hand reached out and grabbed one of her scales. Then he laughed, a pure, delighted sound. Something ancient and maternal stirred in Azarathin's heart, a feeling she hadn't experienced since her last clutch had grown and left her care 3 centuries ago. I suppose, she murmured, I'll need to find out where you came from. But until then, you'll need a name. She carried him to her private chambers, where sunlight streamed through openings carved into the mountain itself. With careful precision, she created a nest of soft materials, silks traded from the Velner, furs from the northern territories, cushions filled with down from her own moltings. Marcus, she decided, the human name feeling strange on her tongue. After the human constellation, I've always admired. Marcus, Prince of the 17 Peaks. 20 years later, Marcus stood on the grand balcony of the Dragon Palace, looking out over the delegation from Earth that had finally tracked him down. His mother, for Azarathin was his mother in every way that mattered, stood beside him, her massive form radiating protective energy. The human diplomats stared in shock. They'd expected to find a prisoner, maybe a servant. Instead, they found a young man in royal regalia, wearing a crown forged from dragon scale and starfire, fluent in 17 languages, including High.